So now the former Special Counsel Jack Smith hit with a criminal referral. House Judiciary Committee Republicans now accuse him of misleading Congress during sworn testimony under oath when he claimed he did not obtain or review lawmakers' text messages during his multiple investigations into President Trump. So that's where we start. Brand new hour right now. Dana's got the day off. I'm Bill Hemmer live in New York, and come back for more.
I have, and it's Friday Eve.
Yes, it is.
Very excited, and you're stuck with me tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Did anyone tell you that? Was that authorized?
I was informed. Yes, it was great to have you, Shannon.
Great to be with you. Okay, I'm Shannon Bream. This criminal referral we're talking about comes on the heels of records being released last week that show Jack Smith and his team did have access to the privileged text messages of more than 40 members of Congress. You see their names there. Now, this referral to the Justice Department states in part, Smith seemingly made willfully and intentionally false statements of material facts. Here is what he said under oath.
The toll records that you requested from the senators, did they include the content of the phone calls?
No.
The records that you requested, the toll records from the members of Congress, include the content of text messages?
No.
Did you seek a search warrant for the content of any text messages from members?
From members? No, I don't recall that.
It was just toll records.
Correct.
Now, Smith's legal team pushing back in a big way, saying he did not lie to the questions he was asked there. To the questions he was asked. Emphasis. President Trump taking note of all this, asking justice at last. Let's find out what's next. House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan joins us, his first interview since issuing the criminal referral against Smith. And, sir, thank you for your time. Good morning to you. Go ahead. We laid it out in part. Make your case.
Yeah. You can't make half-truths. You got to tell the full truth. In fact, we tell witnesses in the deposition. So Jack Smith testified publicly, but we also deposed him in a private deposition. And we tell the witness at the start of those depositions, you got to tell the whole truth. You can't give partial answers. You can't mislead in any way. And he definitely misled us because he said he didn't get contents when, in fact, they did for 44 members of the United States Congress. And when he got that information from the National Archives, you were supposed to filter it out because we are a separate and equal branch of government. And there's a speech or debate clause in our Constitution. They should have screened out any communications relative to our work as legislators. They did not do it. And the guy on his team who got that information was Thomas Wyndham, a guy we'd also deposed, who we also referred because he tried to obstruct our investigation. So they can say all they want, but this is pretty darn clear in our minds, and that's why we sent the referral.
Mr. Chairman, I want to give you a chance to respond to the ranking member and his assessment of this. Jimmy Raskin saying, in part, it was about the questions that you asked. He says the Republicans fault Mr. Smith for not reading the minds of congressional investigators and for not volunteering information they didn't ask for. So he says it's about what was asked, not the answers. Your response to him?
When you ask the special counsel, handpicked by the Garland-Biden Justice Department, to go after President Trump, Mr. Jack Smith, Mr. Prosecutor, worked at the Hague, all this, when you ask him, did you get contents of members of Congress's communications, and he says no, that is not telling the truth, because in fact he did. Now he can say, oh, I was only referring to the toll records, which by the way is bad enough. I mean, remember what he did with the toll record, Shannon. 16 days after Speaker McCarthy becomes Speaker, he goes and gets the toll records, tells the carrier, and it goes to the judge and says, tell the carrier, don't let the customer, the Speaker of the House, know we have it. The guy who's second in line to the president, the top Republican in government. And then he goes and gets mine for 2.5 years, the guy who gets the privilege of chairing the Judiciary Committee. Don't tell him we got that information. And oh, by the way, when we ask him about that and ask him if he got any contents, he doesn't tell us that he also had the contents of text messages from Speaker McCarthy, from me, and from others. You got to be kidding me. And now he's saying, oh, I didn't lie? Come on. It sure looks like he did, and that's why we sent the referral.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption there. Chuck Grassley put out a bunch of documents. He's suggesting that 44 members of Congress from both parties had their text messages read. That would include the late Lindsey Graham, Susan Collins out of Maine, Steve Scalise, Cory Booker. In addition, you had private citizens now, Mike Pence, not Stephen Miller and Kash Patel, but Ivanka Trump.
Right.
And when you think about that, I mean, you've used the word lying. I would ask you, are your allegations also about him spying?
Well, one thing we do learn, I say this on every one of these investigations I've been involved with, it's always worse than we thought. It's the one thing we get wrong. It's always worse than we thought when we start these things. And the amount of information, the number of people he went after, I mean, we know we had people from Fox News, he got their communications as well. This blanket that they threw out there and tried to scoop up every Republican in this town to go after President Trump is pretty broad. And again, we think it's pretty darn clear from his deposition, from his public testimony, that he misled Congress, and 18 U.S.C. 1001 says you cannot do that. That's why we referred him.
Mr. Chairman, can I quickly ask you, too, about this stock trading ban? Nearly every Democrat voted against it. They say it's because it's got things tied to it that they would never have voted for otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, whatever the reason is, I supported the stock trading ban, but I also support the idea that you should have to prove you're a citizen and show ID if you're going to vote, for goodness sake, particularly in light of what we're now learning. I mean, President gave his remarks, his speech last week. Then we learned in New Jersey almost 7,000 people, non-citizens, were on the voter rolls. And yet these blue states don't want to share that information, their voter roll information in so many blue states, with the federal government, so we can match up who's here on a visa and not a citizen with the voter rolls and actually determine who's allowed to vote and who isn't. I mean, the fact that that's the reason they won't vote for the stock ban, I mean, I don't understand it. I think it just defies common sense. And I think that's how the voters of this great country will interpret it as well.
Are we finding that the Save America Act is almost a catch-all for a lot of priorities on behalf of most Republicans and the president?
Well, I think I would say, Bill, it's just common sense. I mean, in Ohio, we have to show photo ID when we vote. I think that should be the norm in every state. That should be the law in every state. And why Democrats oppose that, I do not know, particularly in light of what Democrat Governor Mikey Sherrill just shared with us 2 days ago, that in her state, 6,600 people were on the voter registration rolls who were not citizens of this great country.
Okay.
Chairman Jim Jordan, we will continue to track all of these things. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.